Welcome to College and Cocktails, the original college gymnastics post-meet show. Here we are. This is our live behind-the-scenes Q&A show that we pick a meet and we watch it live. And today was the January Nationals, and we have so much to discuss about it. Today's show is brought to you by the most awkward, I'm going to try to hug you even though you don't want to talk to me, moment ever between Jay Clark and Konnor McClain, where she just stood there awkwardly while he tried to talk to her and hug her after her beam routine, which led to extreme drama at the end of the meet, which we're going to talk about. You can listen to the show anytime on your favorite podcast player. You don't have to join us live, but if you do join us live, we can answer your questions live, and you can chat during the whole meet on here. You can get on early and talk to your fellow Gym Nerd members. Today is January 10th. We just watched the Sprouts Quad session 1 with...
You could hear Jessica's love of corporate sponsorship in your voice as you called that the Sprouts Quad.
This is the first session, which was Oklahoma, our winner by tiebreaker, LSU.
UCLA and Utah were the other two teams.
Who placed last? Utah,
because
they had 3 falls.
They had a 9 million falls on beam.
Yeah. And today's drink is the If the Judges See It.
Ooh, what do you have there?
It's very colorful. Delicious. It has persimmons. It has persimmons in it. Okay. Let's start with the most important question, which is, did the
what
right
happened
team
at the end
win?
of the meet? So, okay, first of all, we need to break down the fact that we had a tiebreaker at this meet for some reason, even though it's not a championship, and who cares?
You don't have to have a tiebreaker. They could have just tied, which is what I personally
Which happens
prefer.
at regular season meets all the time. Yeah, but this was like there was a trophy. There was a Sprouts Quad trophy that one of the teams had to get. So we had to have a tiebreaker. So Oklahoma won instead of LSU, even though it's January and this is not a real championship and this is nothing.
Maybe LSU and Oklahoma only agreed to participate again in this meet if there was a tiebreaker. We will not stand.
Can I win a trophy? Otherwise, I don't want to be here.
Okay, so let's talk about what happened at the end, because it was very weird. So just so you know, the tiebreaker is all 6 scores count.
Yeah,
so that's why we always say every routine can count. So never give up in the middle of the routine, because we might need your score. So, okay, so we watched. So Konnor was up. Konnor McClain.
What was happening? Basically, Oklahoma the meet ended. Technically, or not untechnically, ended, and Oklahoma was ahead of LSU by a 0.5. We were waiting on Konnor McClain scored, but she definitely had
we knew
2 major wobbles and a broken connection. And like, even if they gave the connection, it was like that score should have been super low. It should have been lower than it was. That was not going to be a counter. That was not going to be relevant. But what we kind of didn't know at that point, as we're watching on the shots of Jay Clark talking to the meet referee, was they were reviewing the Lexi Zeiss score in the second position, which was all over the place. It came up as one thing and they had a start value disagreement, and then it was in another. And I assume either it was an inquiry where it was the judges were going back at the end of the rotation to resolve the score, because they did both then get to a 10-0 start. And that bumped her score up to a 9.85, which then tied the meet. So that's kind of how it ended up with the result. I don't think it was ever actually about Konnor's beam score.
No, I don't think so either.
And also, Jay couldn't have been talking to the meet referee about Konnor's beam score before it came up.
Right.
Because it wasn't even in yet, and he was already talking to the meet referee. So I assume they were talking about the Lexi Zeiss score.
And just to clarify, so I want to go over the rules about when coaches are allowed to talk to judges, because the answer is never.
Technically never, but in practice always. Or when we were watching that meet where Octavian Bellew just came up to the judge in the middle, and the judge was like, "You can't talk to me. You have to talk to Jackie."
Yes. And he was like, "But I'm scared of Jackie. I'm scared of the head judge. I don't want to go to that table." Yeah. So basically, if there's a lineup change or something like that in the middle of the meet, if they have to say, "Hey, so-and-so's going, so-and-so's not going, we're putting this person in," you can do that. But, and remember, this is different than elite rules. Or you have a substitution, you have a lineup change, but you cannot talk to the judges before the scores. You can't talk to the judges during the meet, period. You can talk to the meet referee. And remember, the meet referee is the person that's supposed to be supervising the judges, making sure the judges have everything they need, takes inquiries can do the video replay. All of that is the meet referee, which is a separate person which sits at a separate table, and they are not the judges.
Or stands there and also judges the routines next
which
to it
we
and is
love.
like, these judges. And like side eyes. I'll be like, Fran, you gave that a 9.9 because I'm judging that routine too. Let's all talk about how that should have been a 9.6.
No Fran specifically, because Fran is my favorite judge from when who's still judging.
Oh, sorry.
My favorite when I was a kid.
What example name? Because I wasn't.
Oh my God.
I mean, use Carol. Because there's a real Carol who might get upset. I can't say Fran. Who can I say?
I know Fran's probably good. She's a good call because she would kill it. But anyway, we'd love the ones that stand up judge. Anyway, so that's who we think he was standing talking to with the old school USA Gymnastics blue jacket on with the badge on
the
patch.
Judge's uniform.
Yes. So yeah, at first I was like, oh my God, is that the judge? And I was like, yellow card, where's the yellow card? No, but everyone knows enough to just make faces at the wall and not actually approach the judges. But yeah, so that's what happened at the end. What do you think happened with Lexi Zeiss's routine? Because it wasn't Konnor. So we knew that was like the worst routine she's ever done in her life. She was never going to count that. You could tell by her.
Get me off this podium.
Don't stop me here and try to help me.
I'm Konnor and I wobbled on like an aerial. That doesn't happen. I don't want to be here. I don't like this. Get me out of here.
I want to
burn
hide
that
right
routine.
now.
Never talk about it ever again. Yeah, I didn't think it had a start value problem. She had a wolf double in there, which is like way overvalued. So she had plenty of bonus.
Yeah, and she got a 10 in the end.
A 10 start. They resolved to a 10-0 start, and I thought that was fine. I mean, like, was every routine over scored? Yes. We could go through, we could spend the whole next hour and a half talking about, like, why was that? Why is everyone under rotating their vaults and getting a 9.825, even though they had a 1/10 under rotation and a 1/10 lunge back, and also knees and shoulder? And anyway.
Speaking of which, let's talk about, we have the first 10 of the season, compliments of Avery Neff, who, as we said, is the star of the season. It's going to be Jordan, Chiles, Avery Neff, and Caitlin Chio. Those three are your stars. I couldn't believe, by the way, this meet wasn't sold out. And
almost like you shouldn't have these meets at the Maverick Center and you should just have them at the Huntsman Center. And maybe if the Utah gymnasts were at the Huntsman Center, they would have been more comfortable and wouldn't have fallen 3 times unbeat.
Yes, exactly. And maybe Utah should just build gymnastics a new stadium where they can fit or someone build a round podium that will fit in the Maverick Center. Yeah, because
so we know that, like, this is a total distraction. We know that Greg Marsden would not allow something to be named after himself in women's sports because he said that before. But who would you name Utah's Gymnastics-Specific stadium arena after?
The Missy Marlowe Arena, obviously.
Oh, good one. Yeah. Okay, done. The Missy Marlowe Arena. Yeah.
Right.
It's done. Okay. This question is, OMG, my dad, who doesn't really watch any gymnastics, just asked me if they had to have a flip off to break a tie. I really wanted to tell him yes and let him live in obliviousness. I think your dad and Jessica would get along because Jessica would also approve of a flip off.
You can tell your dad that once upon a time when Justin Spring was still invested in trying to save men's gymnastics, which he has now given up on because of those stubborn bastards who run men's gymnastics who won't change anything, they had a really cool meet that was just a points meet, and the tiebreaker was a flip-off. That was the tiebreaker. So I'm sure that meet is up somewhere because it was barely broadcast.
Describe the flip-off, what it would be.
So you have to stick.
Yeah. Are you just on the floor doing like who can stick
a back tuck? And once you stick a back tuck, then it has to be a pike back. And once you stick a pike back, then it has to be either an Arabian or a standing layout or a standing full tucked. And you can choose who from the team you want. So you choose the person that always.
So it's like a soccer shootout kind of situation.
Yes.
And you go back and forth until someone doesn't stick.
Yes. And the flips keep getting harder. So it's like, if you know,
you have to strategize, like, who am I putting up? Like, maybe not my best person first to do a back tuck, but then what if they screw it up and they don't stick?
Right. So, but
that should be the whole sport. Let's dispense with all of this stupid connection bonus. Just do that.
If you guys remember, The last Simone Biles goat tour, the first tour where the music stopped working and the lights and the whole show broke in the middle, and then the gymnast just went to the floor and had a flip off, basically. And that's how we learned that Simone Biles can do a standing layout full. A standing layout full, which humans aren't supposed to be able to do, but it's Simone Biles. So, okay, another question.
Yeah, that was Vanessa saying I saw Simone do a standing back lay.
There you go. Yeah, exactly. Okay, you complained about vault, so should we start there?
Sure.
I was happy with in general, the beam judging was not as tight as I would judge it, but
no,
it wasn't
the worst event.
Yeah, it was not. I was like, oh, this is correct. That was not a 10, and they didn't give it a 10 because normally it would be. So I'm expecting all the judges now or all the coaches to be like, well, we have to educate the audience if they're not going to give us 10s all the time. But Avery Neff's vault,
very nice.
Yeah, it was not perfect, but compared to, I don't know, say the, national champion from 2 years ago from Utah, it was.
Oh, Jessica and
I will never get over
it. Hip ankle, like that is one of those bees in your bonnet.
It's not her problem. It's the judges.
I know, but it's her gymnastics.
Yeah, but she wasn't the problem. The judging was the gymnastics. She's lovely. That's not the problem. Anywho, but there were little things. I'm not like, it's not. I'm not grabbing pitchforks in our prioritizing what we're outraged about. I'm letting that one. I'm okay. It's a lovely vault, great leg position. Definitely stuck the landing. I kind of felt like after one judge went 10 for Ashley Glynn's vault earlier in that rotation, and I was like, no, because there were knees and it wasn't as far, and I was like, that you can't go 10 for that. But once you did, it's like, oh, Avery Neff's an 11, so yeah, right.
And I'm fine with it. It was a lovely vault,
and her hips were open the whole time, which is the thing you don't usually see. Kathy says.
Is this the earliest 10? I can't remember how long we were on 10 watch last year until we got a 10. It was a while last year until Helen Hu in like the third week or something, but that was the outlier. Usually we're like at, in some years we're at like 20 by now.
Yeah. Well, okay, I just want to say something about the meet that I was really happy about, and that is that they had a podium level cocktail table seating right behind beam. And I was like, this is how you sell tickets. Like the couch on the floor at gymnastics meets is always like a little, it's awkward and it's uncomfortable because you relax on a couch. You don't sit up, and nobody wants to be like slumped over
because you're
on
like
TV.
Only it should be for little kids because they don't care. They have no concerns about that. Great, sit there as long as they're on that couch.
Controlled.
Yeah, under control. They're not. They can't be running around.
But. Right. Don't run under a double layout and die. That wouldn't be good. Alyssa says,
I keep hearing flip off. I feel like this kind of flip off would still favor Oklahoma. I
Probably.
feel like they do it.
Yeah.
I feel like that's Oklahoma's mid competition entertainment. Like they have other people come in and do like a KJ like fitness cycle. They have like the fans come in and everyone else is like, let's throw the M&Ms in a bucket. And Oklahoma's like, do 50 push-ups or get out of the stadium.
Most teams start practices or at some point during practice, they do a thing where everyone does a backflip and everyone has to stick, or
like
they do
in
it again in a circle. Like that's a very common way for college teams.
The teammate who doesn't stick it, and then you don't talk to her for the rest of the week.
Shame her. Yeah. We all have to start over. Thanks a lot.
We all have to start over because someone didn't take her team responsibilities seriously. The question was, where would Florida's performance last night have ranked in this meet? Oh, you guys, it was also kind of raggedy and kind of good, and I think fairly similar overall, but that was like, did you see some of the scores at the Florida meet last night, Jessica?
I enjoyed the meet, so I did not pay attention to the scores.
You did not see like Kayla DiCello have a heart attack wobble on her aerial, and still one judge gave it a 9.95.
If you like what you heard, get the rest of the episode, another 45 minutes of this, by joining Club Gym Nerd at gymcastic.com. We do this every week.